Welcome everyone to a brand new video. Super excited for this video. I'm going to cover the top 10 mistakes with Facebook ads, meta ads that a lot of fencers make whenever they're launching their first campaigns. And after watching this video, I'll guarantee you that you'll have a lot more knowledge on how to start a campaign, how to run them, and how to actually keep them performing at a well rate. Okay. Now, for basics, just to easily explain it. Now, bear with me. I'm not the best at drawing, but I'll try to do my best. So let's see here. Okay, this is too small. Let's go with this one, and I'll try to explain it the best way possible. So when you're running a Facebook ad campaign, there is something called a campaign. You then have a ad set, and then you have a ad, okay? So these are the three initial stages of a Facebook ad or a Instagram ad. So you have the overall ad right here. So ad, we're just gonna do Facebook ad. This is the whole Facebook ad. On the top here, you have the campaign. This is the campaign, okay? This is just basic information about the campaign and everything. Under the campaign, you have ad sets. Now here you can have as many as you want to have, and I'll explain the differences when we launch into this video. But let's say for basics, starting off with one ad set, okay? This is where you typically put in your initial targeting when it comes to creatives, when it comes to the area you want to target, when it comes to the retargeting, when it comes to who you want to essentially have this ad in front of, what areas you want to target. This is where you do it in the ad set, okay? And I'm going to cover that with you as well. The last one is the actual ad. This is the ad copy, the text that people see, the actual creative, and what you're trying to push out there. Now, after covering these basics, I'm going to go over the first initial mistake. The first initial mistake that I see people make all the time, and especially fence companies that are running their own campaigns, is that they are running their ads on a too low of a budget. Do not run any ad with less than $5 a day. So if you have, let's do basic maths. If you have 5 ads, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, every single one of them should be getting at least $5 spent, at least minimum. Okay, so this one should get $5. This one should get $5. This one should get, this one should get, this one should get. You guys get it, right? Every single one should get at least $5 spent to be able to accurately test it and accurately make it work, which is a total of what, 5, 10, 15, 20, $25 a day. Okay. So that's the first thing. Every single ad should have at least $5 to spend, because if you don't do it, Facebook is not going to allow it to stabilize and have enough data to make sure that you know essentially what's happening. Okay. The second thing is switching ads too quickly. So I'll walk you guys over a live ad campaign. This is for one of our current clients. You guys can see it's really good cost per lead, $8. However, sometimes what happens with campaigns is that they stop performing for a period, okay? So you don't just want to base decisions off of one day. As you guys can see here, this campaign started the 31st. Let's go 31st to 3rd, okay? On average, we were able to see a $10 cost per lead here, a $8 cost per lead here, because we're testing 2 different campaigns. However, if we were to just look at 4 and 5, right? We didn't get the best results here. We didn't get any leads. We spent $30, but we didn't get any leads. And if you are a fence company, if you're just someone running your own ads and you're looking at, oh shit, okay, let's see. The 4th, okay, I spent $30, I didn't get anything. Okay. All right, so see the 5th, I didn't get anything again. Oh, what's happening? All of a sudden, you just check the day after and it's performing again. So please don't make like irrational decisions. Like, don't just kill an ad too soon, like especially if it has worked, right? You always want to make sure that you at least check, first of all, for the day you're checking, total of 3 days, right? So you see there, okay, $22 cost per lead, it can definitely be better. And then you check, all right, so what happened the whole week? So 3, 5, 6, 7, the whole week. Okay, so overall throughout the week, it's been a $12 cost per lead and a $15 cost per lead, which is good. Let me run it a little bit more and let's see what happens. So just stay rational and don't rely on emotions. So just because you see something not working in a day or in 2 days, don't like panic, okay? Rely on what's rational, right? The third thing is making changes without data, okay? So never change any type of creatives, any type of targeting, any type of copy just based on a gut feeling, right? You have to understand that there has to be a clear reason for why you're changing something. If there's something wrong with the impressions, with the frequency, whatever it is, you got to make sure that you know what you're changing before changing it. You don't just change something for changing it, right? That's rule number one of marketing. You don't want to do something based on emotions. You want to make sure that you have metrics and KPIs to understand what you're going to change. And the key KPIs is CAC. That is the most important KPI. And then you have cost per booked estimate. And then you have cost per appointment. And then you have cost per lead. A lot of people, when they're running ads, think about cost per lead, like cost per lead, cost per lead, cost per lead. The way that I look at it and the way that I have my team look at it is on a cost per acquisition level. And what we mean by that is how much dollars do we have to put in for you to get a job? Let's say the average job residential is worth around 4 grand. If our CAC is $200, right? That's a 20x return on investment. You're putting $200 in and you're getting a $4,000 job, right? That's what we're trying to do here. Now, when you're spending, let's see, 4K, let's say if your cost per lead is like $50, right? But you only need four of those leads to get that one job. Well, it's worth it, right? You don't have to change anything. However, if your cost per lead is all of a sudden $10 and you're getting thousands of leads, but none of them are converting, well, then again, you have to change something. So the main metric that a lot of people focus on is, oh, how much are you paying per lead, cost per lead? Look at cost per acquisition. Look at the CAC. How much are you spending in total to get one job? Right? And then do the math from there. If it's too much, if it's too little, that's typically good. You don't have to change anything. That's the North Star metric that we always, always, always want to base everything off of. Okay. The fourth thing is testing too many variables at once. Sorry, tongue twister there. Don't test 5, 6 different things at once because you won't know what's working and what's not. For example, with this campaign, okay, I'll show you guys. Let's go to this campaign. We have one ad set because on this one, we used to test multiple ones. We had a little bit more. You can see here, we had multiple ones. But on this one, we have one ad set, and I'll show you guys here. Go, give me just a second. One ad set, and then in the ad set, there's 4 different creatives. So we're testing 4 different videos. We're testing a personal angle. We're testing a couple other like generic videos. And by far right now, the best results we're seeing is on these 2 campaigns. So this one is having a $10 cost per lead. This one is having an $11 cost per lead. And if we base that off of the last 3 days, it's been this video. And now if we base it off of from the start of the campaign and the days before that, it's been typically the same. So at this point, what we're supposed to do is we're going to go ahead and turn these ones off that aren't spending anything, that aren't making a lot of money for us, and keep these ones on, the high performers. Okay, that's the goal with us. So right now, as you can see, we only have one ad set and we're testing creatives, we're testing angles. We're not testing the angles and then the ad set and then the targeting. You want to keep it at one thing and one thing only. So test one thing at one time. If you want to test a broad audience with a different type of audience first, do that and then test creative. Like, you want to make sure that you know what you're testing, and that way you can essentially know what's working and what's not working and then make accurate changes. For example, now that we have a $10 cost per lead and his CAC is super low, like it's around 220, I think, William's CAC, which is very good. I know that if we want to change something, we can now start changing other things other than the creative, because the creative is good. We can now start changing the targeting if we want to test targeting a little bit higher income households. Like, if we want to do that, we can do that, So it's all based on what you have. The fifth thing is ignore the manual placements, okay? So in campaigns, if you go here into edit, there's gonna come up a section, and they always change this, but I'm gonna make sure that you see this, and that way it comes up. Let's see here, boom, and then you can see here, okay? So typically it comes up here or it comes up in a different section, but you wanna make sure that you initially have on the most like specific places that you want to have them. So you want to have on manual placements, and you want to choose just the specific ones that actually bring the best results. So think of it like this. Where do you spend the most time when it's on Facebook and Instagram? You spend your most times on stories and reels, right? Maybe in feeds sometimes, right? But for Facebook, you could turn it off, right? So in Facebook, you can have it, you can turn it off, and that way you can make sure that it's only on the Facebook and Instagram in feed, but turn off everything else. Everything else, like search, like the search, the audience, the network, anything like that, search it off, because it's going to start, like Facebook, what it does is that it's going to start spending money there where you don't want it to spend money. You want it to spend money at the places where people are spending their time, which is scrolling through reels, which is on stories. That is where your ads are going to start showing, rather than on a search or an audience network or Facebook marketplace, right? You don't want to have it on those places at all. The sixth thing is using the wrong resolution. Now, make sure that you have a good understanding of the formatting of what you're trying to publish, okay? So I'll show you this one, for example. You can see here, and if we go into the edit the media, okay? Edit video, you guys can see here we have it on the original because this one is going out on Facebook 9/16, right? You can see here this one recommends putting it on one-on-one, but as you can see, this is what's going to happen. It's going to start ruining it, and I'll just show you guys a little bit of
A new fan
preview, okay? You guys can see this, it's ruining it, it's cutting it in half. So you want to keep it original, but you want to have two versions, so one 9/16 and one 1/1, to make sure that it goes into different placements and then treat them that in the right way. Okay. The seventh thing that I see a lot of guys do and a lot of companies do is that they are using generic offers. Okay. And I'm not talking about the call to action, because the call to action, as in getting a free quote, call today, free estimate, that is the call to action. That is what you want people to do. But what is your offer? Okay. And I see a lot of people running offers like, a very common one is 20% off. A other common one could be, it kind of slipped through my mind, but you can do 20% off, but then you can also word it in a different way that other people aren't. So essentially, if everybody's saying up to 20% off, what you can say is get up to $2,000 off your new fence, right? And that sounds completely different. It might be the same thing. It might be that you don't even do a $2,000 off. It might be that once you get to the home, you're like, oh yeah, right now it's only $500 off. Or you can even bump your prices up. Like if you know your sales and that's intact, you know how to deal with this. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a text, shoot me a message on Facebook, or book a call with me and I'll help you out with it. But make your offer unique. Like you can say the same thing in very many different ways and in a very much more compelling way. Okay. The eighth thing is asking too many or too few questions. Okay. So I'll actually show you guys our questionnaire, our initial, let's see, form here. That way you guys can get an idea of how it looks like. Okay. So let's go into boom, 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 and we'll go into review. And then this is what's with Facebook. They always change it, but here you guys can see. Get your free estimates and then put in some information. You want to maximum have 2 to 4 questions and preferably keep a multiple choice. Okay. So first question, what type of material are you looking for? And then project location, like what is your zip code? Because you can't really ask that. And then boom, that's done. Right? That's all you need to ask. And the reason we ask this is because you want to keep it as easy as you can for people to put in their information and just move forward. Like people get too lazy. Keep in mind, they're on a platform where they're not supposed to think, they're not supposed to spend time. They just want to scroll through and get quick dopamine hits. You want to make it as easy as possible it is for them. So they pick up the phone, they see the form, they're okay, wood, that's what I want. Project location, okay, zip code, this is my zip code. Boom, put in the information, done, right? If you have too few questions, like if you don't have any questions, let's say anybody can just click on the ad and just become a lead or call you directly, you're going to get low quality because there's too many. It's going to be a high drop-off rate, okay, on like contacts and everything that you're trying to do in the back end. However, if you have a perfect amount of questions, maximum 4, but like 2 is like sweet spot, 2 to 3. It's easy because people are lazy at the end of the day. Keep it simple, keep it easy to submit and easy to put in. And then in the back end, you can always talk with them a little bit more. Once you get them on the phone, it's a lot easier to actually have a conversation with them. Somebody might be super, super qualified and have a big, large fence project in mind, but just because you're trying to ask 6 questions in the front end, they're like, hey, I don't have time for this. Let me just call someone I can ask directly, right? So you want to keep it perfect, keep it max 2 to 4, take inspirations from the one I showed you, and it will massively help you as well. The ninth thing, and we're wrapping up to the end here, is running ads on a low budget or on a tight budget without experience, okay? One thing I always tell guys is that it takes time and effort to make ads work the right way. It's risky, right? So you need to either have time or you need to have money, right, to do this. If you can't spend more, you need to be able to understand that it's going to take you a long time to get the results. For example, if you have somebody spending $50 a day on ads, they're going to see enough results within 1 week to understand, okay, this is what we need to change, this is what we need to do. And in that 1 week, they know exactly what they need to change for the next coming week. However, if you think about it, if somebody's spending $100 a day, they get those same feedback that person gets in 7 days, in 3 days. So after 3 days, they can understand, okay, this is working, this is not, let's change it, let's invest into this. So by spending more, you're lowering the time it takes for you to hit success and get more jobs. That's why I always recommend guys to start with at least $30 a day, because that gives us a good enough time within a week and a half, if you're comfortable, to know what's working. And if anybody has a better budget, I always tell them, hey man, if you're looking to spend more, if you're looking to get results quicker, let's bump it up. Let's go 60, 70, $80 a day, right? We have some clients doing $200, $300 a day, and they're seeing far better and quicker results than we have with anybody wanting to spend 30 a day. Like, you will still see results within the first month, 100%. But you're going to see it a lot quicker if you're spending more money. So in the same way, you could just have to understand that if you want to make it work, don't just think that, oh, I'm going to spend $10 a day, I'm going to make it work. Because the same results that you're going to see after 4 weeks, 4 weeks of spending your money, is the same somebody will after 1 week spending $50 a day. So it's going to take you 1 month to make any significant changes. And you're going to think, hey, I spent $300, I'm not getting anything. Well, obviously you're not, because you're not putting enough in to get enough data out. Okay. That's very, very important. The 10th and last thing is targeting a small of an audience, a very, very small audience. If you have an audience in your area that is under $500,000 people, you should be able to understand that, hey, man, or like talk to yourself like, hey, I want to work within these zip codes, but there's too little amount of people here. There's only 300,000 here. Let me figure out a few more zip codes or a few more areas that I can and I'm willing to work to and travel to. And obviously you'll prioritize the ones closer to you, but you might not know. Maybe you get a couple big jobs from a different area and you just and you understand, okay, let me start focusing my work there rather than where I'm at right now. So what I always tell guys is let's try to go for a minimum of like 500,000 people. That's very good, because anything less than that, it starts becoming like a retargeting campaign. Your frequency starts going to like 2, 3 higher numbers, and everybody starts seeing your ads like again and again, again and again after filling out the form and after becoming a lead. So you want to have at least $500,000 people. It's a good audience to start off with, and then initially go from there to get better and bigger amounts as well. The bonus and last tip I'll kind of leave with you guys is follow Facebook's ad policies, especially when it comes to your guys' industry and the industry that we're working with, which is fencing, home improvement in general. There's a lot of easy ways to get violated. There's a lot of easy ways to ruin the campaign. So please make sure that you follow them. It happened multiple times with us when we first started this business a couple of years back, that we ended up not following the regulations as we should because we didn't know, and ended up ruining campaigns, right? Our own campaigns and clients' campaigns, and it just doesn't work, okay? So, for example, like the one I showed you earlier, you can't just directly ask zip code. You can put it in the contact form, but if you want to ask it, you have to ask it in a way where you don't directly say, what is your zip code? How much do you make? You can't ask these things on Facebook. It's not possible. So make sure that you're always double checking before launching. And if you have watched this whole video and you're following these steps and you want someone to just take a quick look over them and make sure that you're doing everything right, make sure that everything is ready to launch, book a call with me below. And I promise you, it's not a sales call. It's not me trying to pitch you. Obviously, I do have something that will help you get more business. But if you want to run it yourself, or you want to test it out, I'm more than happy to help you out with it on that first call. Just help you over, look it over, make sure your creatives are good, make sure everything is good, help you launch it, and then help you at the back end if you need help with it. But if not, at least you know how to launch a good campaign, and at least you know everything is going well. Or if you already have a campaign live, feel free to book a call in and I can evaluate your campaign. I can help you with making sure that you're doing the right steps and that you can initially make sure that you are moving in the right direction with what your goal is. So hopefully this video was a lot of value for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to posting a lot more videos like this, just pushing a lot more value out there for free. And yeah, let me know, guys, what type of videos you guys want to see next. I'm very, very excited for them. I have a bunch of things planned, but I'm super excited to hear what you guys have to say as well. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out. Bye bye.